And welcome back to the We'll Take It From Here podcast. Another week, another episode. However, first, we are going to bring you our show's sponsor, because this episode is brought to you by Honest Supplements. Now, Joe, what's Honest Supplements? Well, let me tell you. In a world that is plagued by new illness outbreak every other day, it's important to keep your body performing at its best with the right vitamins and supplements. However, these products can get expensive, especially with rising prices all around us. Honest Supplements has resolved that problem. They mark up all products by just $1, saving their members an average of 50% per product. Yes, that means that the protein you're paying $60 for is only $30 on their website. They have everything from vitamins, sports supplements, recovery, weight loss, CBD, and so much more. It costs just $10 a month or $99 for the entire year to join the Honest Supplements Club. Timmy and I are both members and can advocate for the amount of money that you will save. And do we also mention that all products are third-party lab tested? Because that's the only true way to prove vitamins and supplements actually contain the ingredients that they claim. Don't wait. Go to Honest Supplements right now to join today and start taking better care of your health. And it's right. If you train jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or just in the gym, you better be taking Honest Supplements. So go to their website, guys. All right. Now it's time for the show. Welcome back, folks. So we'll take it from here with Joe and Timmy. Episode 183. I did not snap for the first time.
Yeah.
I was very cognizant of that. You listen to the show to make you think and entertain you, folks. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Podbean, whatever. Go to YouTube, guys. See how come on. We're handsome dudes.
You get to see the video.
Exactly.
We're going to learn how to figure out add that to Spotify and all that.
Spotify and all
we're going
that
to keep it on YouTube for now.
Exactly. You want to see us. Come on. We're fun guys, right? You guys. Yeah. Definitely for those of you who are new, welcome. We just talk about anything and everything on the show, and we will have guests occasionally, most of the time, and hear their story and bullshit with them. We curse lots. If you don't like cursing, well,
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right?
Get the fuck out of here.
Cheers, bro. All right.
Cheers.
Now,
we both had a long day.
Bro, you don't even know, but.
Did you have a good day? We don't want to go into the details, but yeah. That first sip of beer after a long week.
That is
especially a hot fucking week that we had this week.
That was, yeah. The devil decided to shit on New Jersey.
Which is also hilarious because now it's the weekend where you want to be on the boat and shit, and it's 76 and maybe rain almost every day.
That's always how it is. Okay. But, okay. Did you see my story on Instagram?
From today?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I've been busy.
It's just
running
words.
around.
It's just words.
Well, it's perfect because I get to hear it first from the mouth that feeds.
So
the hand that feeds.
People are asking me if I'm crazy.
I think you might be, but that's fine. But then again, I think everyone is.
We are, yes. So it was me and 3 of my coworkers, friends, right? And we're like, yo, let's go get some Chipotle. Mm-hmm. So we get Chipotle. And we're in Florham Park going in East Hanover, okay? Making a left. And
River? Ridgedale?
No.
By Novartis?
No, we're up by, the Chipotle is right by the Best Buy.
Yeah, so that's River.
The River, okay.
I grew up in East Hanover, that's why I know that.
Perfect. But we're on the Florham Park side.
Yeah.
Going, okay.
That was my commute home from high school.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's true because Hanover Park's right there.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, so yeah, you know where I am, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
12 o'clock, we all be racing. I knew the time of that light. I think it still hasn't changed.
You're talking about the one that's
like crossover 10
to Columbia Turnpike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where the Porsche dealership is?
Yes.
They used to be at Fridays. How weird is that?
No, Fridays, bro.
That was
definitely better Porsche dealership.
I know, but it's just crazy that was a Fridays, and that wasn't always a Fridays too. I forget what was there when I was younger.
Ruby Tuesdays. I'm just kidding. I haven't seen that shit in a while.
I don't remember what was there before the Fridays. Whatever. Anyway, who gives a shit?
So we're making
Times
a left.
change.
We're making a left, okay? Right by the home lighting store. The driver and the kid, Mark and Jake. They've been on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark and Jake. They've been on the show, right? They're sitting in the front, and Jake goes, "I'm not fucking crazy, but is that Honda Element driving itself?" And Mark goes, no, you're definitely right. Like, there's no one in that fucking car, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then me and my manager were like, I saw it, but he didn't. He goes, I don't believe you guys. And I'm like, we're going to pull up. Dude, I swear to I don't even know what I saw. We pull up to the left of this Honda Element.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a new self-driving car.
That's an old car.
Yes. Okay. So
I'm going to show up a picture of the Honda Element.
yes.
It's like the PT Cruiser. A lot of people hate them, but if you love them, you fucking love them.
But they're not Honda's version of a self-driving car.
No,
Okay.
they're like 20 years old.
Okay. Thank you.
They're
Thank
old
you,
as
folks.
fuck. They're not anywhere. There's no technology in them.
Thank you. So we go to the fucking left of this thing. The window is all the way down, and seems to be a stick. Could not be a person. This would be a 20-pound super bulimic anorexic person. It's not. It's a stick with a black cloth over it. It almost looks like a mop or a broom with a cloth over it. Window down, nobody in the back seat, nobody in the passenger seat. This thing was driving itself, bro. I swear to God. I sound crazy. It was driving itself. But here's the best
Did
part.
anyone take a picture?
No. I know. But we were all shocked. You know the home lighting store?
Yeah.
You know there's a parking lot?
Yeah.
This thing was so smart. It didn't want to wait in the lights, so it cut the fucking parking lot to go on to Route 10.
Yeah.
But we were like, yo, we took it out of there. We're like, dude, this is not all right. Like, what the fuck is a broomstick driving a car? We thought about it for the rest of the day. I'm still thinking about it right now. We saw a Honda Element self-driving, but it's not a self-driving car. I don't know what the fuck I saw.
I've seen people where they dress up as a seat.
No. Dude, like,
I know.
the width of my forearm, but taller, sitting in a seat is not a person.
I know, but I've seen people disguise themselves as the seat itself, the back of the seat. So he could have had that's the only thing I can think of.
Yes, but there was no arms control. Dude, this thing was so fucking stupid, bro. Because we're have Jake come on next week again, and he's definitely going to mention it.
I'm just upset that no one took a picture.
Everyone thought we were lying.
I know. Why didn't you take a picture?
Because
I get it. This is why UFO pictures don't exist. Because you're just such in awe that you're just caught off guard and like, what the fuck is this? You don't think, let me take my phone out.
We definitely thought it was about to fucking blow up, dude.
Probably.
Dude, it knew to cut the fuck. It had human characteristics.
Did anyone get the plate?
No.
Because I got a bunch of friends that are cops in that town. I'm
Really?
going to keep an eye out for this car now.
Please do.
Yeah.
It's a fucking
When we get
Honda
off this,
Element.
I'm going to text my buddy. What color? Champagne
Silver.
brown? Silver.
Like gray silver, like a gunmetal gray. Almost. Yeah.
Like the back of the washing machine?
A little bit more silver darker than that.
Like my panels? My gray panels?
No, let me pull up a picture for you. Let me put up the
Don't worry, folks, but I'm going to put this online
This
for everyone to see.
thing is fucking
You only get to see it, though, on YouTube. We don't have it on anything else, so go to YouTube and if you want to see pictures.
Honda Element. We'll do silver. It's probably gray mostly because now I'm thinking about it, silver. No, I think it's gray. Sorry, not silver, gray. Yes, this is it. This is the car. Okay, that was the car. It's gray. That was the fucking car,
Yeah.
dude. I'm telling you, dude.
Send me that picture.
Yeah, I will. I have no idea what the fuck I saw.
Yeah. Well,
Let me see that
that's
here.
probably still not the craziest thing that you had to deal with this week.
What would be crazier?
I don't know. Politics,
Politics for sure, but
bombing Iran, and then the conspiracy theories behind it, that was part of the negotiation deals. Trump calling all of them a bunch of fuckwits.
that was awesome.
I think he actually call them a bunch of they're being fucking stupid or something
No,
like
they
that?
said they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
That's what it was. I
So-
just remember him cursing.
So we dropped our last episode was dropped on Sunday before everything else. And you know what?
We recorded on Sunday.
We recorded. Excuse me. It was dropped yesterday. Recorded on Sunday, and we were very fair. We didn't jump to any conclusions.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing we didn't.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Which you should never.
Never, but a lot of
Lessons
people did.
here.
A lot of people thought, we were kidding. I didn't think we were going to go to war, but it was possible. But I didn't think so.
Listen, the track record that our government has had is what we do is we get into these fucking decade-long wars.
For sure. But here's the thing. And this is what I heard from a theory that I heard. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
When all those bombings happened, right? Which, by the way, the ones from the U.S., to my knowledge, the facilities, no citizens.
No casualties.
No casualties, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Not the Israeli bombings, the U.S. bombings.
The U.S. bombings.
Those are the ones we're talking about.
Right after Trump puts out that big tweet or Truth Social, whatever the fuck he's on, about saying that they negotiated a peace or they're going to do a peace treaty in like 12 hours, right? Immediately after that, reports come out that Netanyahu said, and Iran, both of those. So Israel's leaders, prime minister, and then and Iran.
Iran's the leader.
The leader.
I don't know what their term is.
But they both said, we didn't agree to that. Like they basically said there was voices or rumors that they were saying, oh yeah, don't hold off on this because we didn't agree to a peace treaty, right? We didn't agree to the peace treaty. And then what happens after that? Israel throws the bombs, and then Iran throws the bombs, right? Leading up to the peace treaty. Could it be that Trump played that perfectly because he knew that their egos would fucking allow them to start bombing, and now he could be like, look, I did what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Right?
This is on me.
And then even when the reporter goes to him and goes, oh, Iran starts throwing bombs, what did he say? He goes, Israel threw the first bomb after I said there was a peace treaty. Mm-hmm. Do you think he played a little bit of... And I don't mean the person to be like, oh, it's just 5, 8, 9D chess. But I think it's a little bit of a chess move. Hey, we have two countries that are bombing the shit out of each other, right? Everyone's sick of it in the world.
Yeah.
And now I can't be called a terrorist sympathizer because I went and bombed the fucking nuclear facility.
Absolutely.
But now I know that Netanyahu, this is I'm speculating what Trump is saying. I know that Netanyahu doesn't want to do this, right? And he's actually not as good as people think. These are my words, right? So now if I say there's a peace treaty without fucking saying that to them, they're going to be like, what the fuck? And they're going to continue bombing. And now the whole world can see what the fuck's going on then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could that be something?
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, too, is that based on the stuff you were talking about, Trump dropped those bombs, right? And then I keep thinking I hear May barking because she's being a fucking job. I hope not. Anyway, so Trump drops a bomb, says, okay, we eliminated precision attacks, eliminated the nuclear sites. Whether they did or didn't, whatever. That's the whole point, and that's what allegedly they did. And then it's like, okay, we're doing a peace deal. We got this covered. And then Israel they just keep shooting themselves in the foot. Like, you could just, instigate Iran to do it first, but no, you don't even fucking wait. You just drop more bombs.
Dude, it's crazy.
And okay, what do you think's going to happen when you got bombs dropped on someone?
Yeah.
They're going to want to retaliate. What do you think? Trump comes in and drops these to eliminate the nuclear sites, whether they are or not, or they had it. Who knows what the fucking level of what it actually was, and who knows the actual level of destruction that was done to their nuclear site. Whatever. This is what was done face value is they came and eliminated nuclear sites. It's perfect scenario. I can't speak either today. You missed it when we were setting up, man.
When I set up, I could not fucking.
Joe tried for a good minute and a half trying to get words out.
I tried a 4-word question. Took me about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was good times. Now it's my turn. But that's a perfect situation for a peace deal. But Netanyahu doesn't want to do that. He wants to rule the world. That's what he wants to do.
So it's funny because I haven't spoken to my friend he lives in Jerusalem. So I don't think I've spoken to him where he's had to go into hiding, right? when bombs were being fired in from Hamas and all that shit.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to him, and that sounds really bad. I guess subconsciously I knew he was in Jerusalem and not Tel Aviv, because Tel Aviv was the only ones to get bombed, right?
Couldn't tell you.
I think it was Tel Aviv. But my brother said he's been talking to my friend that lives in Israel right now. And I try to put myself because I have my opinions of not Israel. I have my opinions of Netanyahu. And I wonder, and not that it would change my opinion. I wonder if I had a conversation with him. He's a nice dude. I don't know if he would agree with me, but I also don't know the level of propaganda because we get propagated here in the United States heavily. But like that, we're not the only country that's propagated.
Everyone does.
And like then it's like now look. I'm looking at it from a perspective of every country's leaders are corrupt to a certain extent, and based off of our generations of the globalist agenda of always the military industrial complex of always
Excuse me.
bringing in these wars to make money, right? Like if we look at Epstein's list, now my brother and I had like a huge
No, he's
conversation
working
about
by himself.
what's that?
He's working by
yeah,
himself.
working by himself.
By himself and only himself.
Now, my brother and I had a big conversation. My brother is pretty, like, I would love if he were to come on the show because we have a great conspiracy talks with him.
Let's do it.
No, he doesn't want to come on.
Come on.
he don't
We'll
wanna-
block your face out.
Yeah,
We'll put a
yeah,
bag over
yeah.
it. Get a brown bag.
Not, and then we'll just, underneath, it'll just say not Joe's brother. But he does a lot. He's actually been calling, like, the pedophilia shit. He was calling out, like, he's followed Alex Jones for a while.
Yeah.
And Alex Jones is good. He's actually does a lot, and it's not just off of Alex Jones. Like, he does his own research. And he's really not, like, was calling all this shit out way before everyone else was calling out, like early 2010s. But I just don't get it because he was like, dude, you have to do more research on the whole Israel. I'm like, dude, I don't care whose land that is. I look at it this way. I get that Epstein, that whole thing, is more than just Israel.
Yeah.
It's the Mossad, it's CIA, it's everybody. Like, everyone is involved. All the countries are involved because it's just the network, right? The
Whether it's directly as the one to coordinate everything or indirectly as the people caught in it.
Yes, exactly. But it gets, pushed by the machines of CIA, FBI, Mossad, right? Because Ghislaine and I keep saying Mossad, which is the Israeli version of CIA, if you don't know, because Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was part of the Mossad.
I think he was one of the founders.
Yeah. So that's why
And he
I keep
also has
bringing
a
that back.
textbook company.
Yes.
Allegedly.
That's why I'm saying that, and my brother and I were going back, he's like, dude, they don't fall into the same thing what's going on with Iran and all. I'm like, but indirectly it does, because if that's true, which I believe it to be true, then Netanyahu's probably got a lot of people by the balls.
Yeah.
But it's not only him, it's the CIA and everyone, but that could be why, whatever globalist agenda want.
Yeah.
And this is where I bring it back to this. I think I might have said this in the last show. And this is why I think indirectly the two are related. And this is, yes, I did say this. I did say this in the last show. And I'm going to say it again. Andy Frisella, everything good?
Yep.
Yeah. Andy Frisella called this, or said that this is what they would do. To escape accountability with COVID, Epstein and all that, they would try to either, they being the globalists, not Israel, the globalists, start World War III or produce a new deadly virus that's actually deadly. Not COVID deadly, actually deadly. Thankfully, none of those came to be yet, and hopefully they don't. But that's why I sort of think Epstein, Netanyahu, the CIA, everyone trying to run these wars, I think is linked. I'm agreeing with Andy because it's like, that is true. Like, if you were to, because no one, what is everyone talking about right now? World War III, Iran, Israel. But no one's talking about global lockdowns, building camps in Australia, a vaccine that has literally killed people, caused heart problems, caused cancer.
I think they're pulled off the market.
Now
Now they're also not recommended for children.
Exactly. Like, no one's talking about that anymore. So their job is being done. And I get that way before, don't even get me started, folks. I know way before COVID was a thing, way before any of this is a thing, I understand that the Middle East for thousands of years has been at war with each other. I'm not naive. But I think right now they're using that to the advantage, is what I'm saying, to escape accountability. I agree with him.
Yeah. So the thing that drives me absolutely fucking nuts about anyone that ever talks about the Middle East shit, right? Do you think the average person there wants to deal with any of this war.
No, dude, I don't
They
think.
don't.
I don't
There's
think my friend
extremists-
doesn't want to fucking keep going into hiding a lot.
Listen, it's the same thing here. Like, people talk about white supremacy and all this shit and racism and whatever and bigotry and sexism and all that. That exists, yes, but it's not in the fucking levels that people talk about. It's not there.
No.
And it's not there. And the problem is, too, is that everyone gets roped in is, I don't agree that trans people, if you're born a man and transition to a woman, I don't think you should be able to go in the women's bathroom. That's my personal opinion. I
Yeah.
don't think so. I'm not a bigot. I don't have an issue with someone being fucking trans. I just don't want a male in the female's bathroom.
Yep.
Sorry, when I have kids, and if I have a daughter, and she's 12, and I always see someone that was a man going into that bathroom, there's going to be fucking issues.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking trust people. There's evil people in the world. I don't
Yes.
care if you're trans or not. There's evil people. Just because you're trans doesn't mean that you're not fucking evil.
Yep.
It's not blanket. It's not a blank check that, oh, you're trans, you can get away with that. No, fuck that. I don't give a shit. I don't trust people. I don't trust anyone unless I know them. And even then, people shit happens.
Yeah. It's true.
People fucking snap. People get head injuries and they completely change.
Yeah.
You know. How many people do you know that had drug issues?
I know quite a few.
I can't even count on two hands.
Yeah.
I literally can't count. I would lose track. There's so many people I know that a lot of them are doing great now. But I also have more than I can count on two hands of people that died from drug issues. And when they were on drugs versus when they were sober, completely different people. Completely different people. So
Exactly.
just because you know them, like my whole point is evil exists. Evil exists in the world, but not everyone is evil, and not everyone in a country wants to fucking keep fighting. It's
Well-
like us with our dumb shit wars that we've done over the last
Well, here's the thing.
century, decades, whatever you
Well,
want to call it. All of the
knows?
above.
Here's the thing about the Middle East. It's always a religious battle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the battle that you're talking about with sexism, bigotry, racism, whatever, where is that predominant? In America and in the more affluent Western countries. Why is that? Because we have to create problems.
Yeah.
Legitimately, dude. Think about it.
Yeah.
Like to say, that's not saying that those things don't exist, but like you said, they don't exist to the level that gets propagated on the news, right? We literally, people create problems in this nation, and that's like, it's weird. It's like a fucking.
Yeah, I don't. Let's change that term, because words matter. Shout out to my coworker. Not dropping names. They don't. They find problems. They don't create them. They find them.
Yes,
right?
but they're creating them in their own reality, dude.
Yeah, but yes, but they're not going at like my point is right.
They're
If
looking for it.
They're looking for it.
Yes.
They're finding the little bit of bullshit crumb to take to make a big deal about.
We're saying the same.
Yeah,
the same thing.
but I don't, because the problem is I'm changing the wording. In my opinion, is I think someone can take what you're saying by creating. They're not creating this. This actually happened. It's like
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes, it did happen. So they're going out of their way to find the little bit of, like I said, the crumb to make it bread out.
Yes,
of it.
they're trying to make.
They're making a loaf out of the crumb.
What is it? Something out of a
Mountain out of molehill.
Molehill. Thank you. Thank you.
I like the crumb and bread one.
Yeah, yeah. Right. Thank
I'm
you.
hungry. Can you tell?
Yeah,
I was mountain biking with the puppy before this.
yeah. Well, beer is gonna be good for that.
Mhm.
But think about it. It's like so funny. It's like a catch-22, because you have America. We're so fucking fortunate to be in this country, but then it gets to a point where, and this is what I believe is from the top, right?
Mhm.
They purposely do all this shit, put this shit on the news, put it in our face 24/7
Yeah.
to cause the division.
Yeah, of course.
That's why when we always talk about this, what do we always say? The people just need to come together.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's all it is. And coming together is this. Coming together isn't agreeing with the other person or the other side. Coming together is being like what most of us do.
yeah.
We have friends. We don't agree on everything,
Yeah.
but I still am friends with that person. I have friends that I know that we're completely different viewpoints. You're still my friend.
Yeah.
That's coming together.
Yeah.
It's not me being like, okay, you know what? Because you're my friend and I don't want any problems, I'm going to agree with you. It's no, dude. I actually don't agree with you, and you don't agree with
That's
me.
spineless.
Yeah, like I don't agree with you. You don't agree with me. We may raise our voice, but at the end of the day, hey man, how you doing? Is everything
Yeah.
good? Let's not talk about this. I love you still.
Yeah.
That's coming together.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't handle conversations with people and it has to be an argument, then you're the issue.
Yeah.
You are the issue.
But that's how it is today.
But and here's the thing, and there's a difference between having a debate and an argument, right? And I don't know better terms besides those two. I think a debate is just a healthy and honest conversation that people can have their own opinions and different points of views. And where the argument is you're trying to win, you're not trying to change someone's point of view, or okay, let's say we disagree on something. Hey Joe, I see your point of view. This is what I think I'm hearing from you. Here's why I think you're wrong. Mm-hmm. And the whole point is acknowledging the person and then trying to change their mind. Not, no, you're an idiot. Fuck you. You're dumb. Whatever. And then your point of view is wrong. I'm right. No, that's you have to convince me to change my mind. I'm open-minded enough in any topic. I'm open-minded in any topic.
Yeah.
I have certain points of views and topics where I feel much stronger that it's going to take a lot for you to change, and there's other ones where I have a very shallow pool of ideas on it that's easy to change. Yeah. But you have to change my mind. Have a conversation with me. Give me the reasons. Not you're an idiot. Fuck you. You're dumb. You're a bigot. Oh, you don't agree with me, so you're racist.
Well, that's the problem with comment sections. Comment sections are, and let's be honest, they're the most toxic fucking places in the world. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not political, even if it's someone just left a comment on a video, like a reel.
Yeah.
Then if you go to the 20 replies, you definitely know there's an argument there because there's 20 replies.
Yeah.
Dude, some person will always say something and it'll be like, my guy.
Yeah.
Dude. There was no reason for you to, just because you disagree with him. Yeah. Now you say my guy. Yeah. And now everything becomes a condescending fucking conversation.
Yeah.
I cannot stand it. Yeah. I cannot stand it.
It cracks me up. And when I hear that, I just think of the South Park bit. You ever see that? And it's fuck. Oh my God. It's, I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not your pal, guy. I'm not your guy, friend. I'm not your friend, buddy. And it ends up going full circle where the person said, "Don't call me that," and then he ends up calling
Dude, I actually
you haven't seen that?
No, and I've seen a lot of South Park.
I'll send you that clip. I'll post a link to it in the YouTube descriptions.
South Park's fucking genius.
Yeah,
they're good
but
at
it's
calling
that whole
out the
thing.
bullshit. No, but it's dude, you just can't even have a fucking conversation anymore. That's what it is. That's what killed conversation, because then you take that in real life. A lot of people get really angry over it. Here's the thing. You get angry over the fucking social media because you're typing and you're fucking angry, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck this guy. But then what happens is that starts to translate. In real life, you don't really speak to someone that way, right?
You never do.
You would never do. But when you start getting into a debate, that comes out of you.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to it.
Yeah. I mean, I think the last 10 years was terrible for this stuff. But I think the last 18 months, it's been better. And I don't know, that's because the whole Trump kind of gaining momentum. But I think I would say the last 2 or 3 years, I've seen a bigger shift in people not dealing or caving into that bullshit of the woke mob kind of mentality.
Yeah, because we're sick of it.
Yeah, because it's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
It was designed on purpose, and a lot of people are waking up to it.
I think people are starting to wake up to a lot of the bullshit. And did you listen to Bernie at all on Rogan?
No, but the best thing ever was him getting called out. Yeah. What about this map or graph? Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, I didn't waste my time with that. I don't care.
And listen, if you have, like I said, if you have a point of view, convince me. He did no effort of convincing at all in any of that. He just had his talking point. I listened to 85% of it. I got to finish it. But nothing he said was an argument. It was, this is my point of view. This is what they're doing wrong. But you didn't explain anything. You didn't explain why your point of view is right. You just says, I don't like what they're doing. Here's my solution.
Bro,
but
what do you expect from a dude who
he's full of shit,
who calls himself a communist? No, I'm not saying the word socialist, just communism, right? At the end of the day, right? Who self-proclaimed communist. that owns his own fucking private
See,
jet.
here's the thing: is the communists don't believe the socialists don't believe they're communists.
I know, but it's the same thing.
It's
bro.
the same thing.
Same thing.
What's the difference, people? Explain it to us.
It's the same fucking thing. And there's no such thing as democratic socialist. It's socialist, which is communist. But he's all right, let's use it in his words so we don't offend people. So he's a self-proclaimed socialist, right?
Yeah.
Who has a private jet.
Yeah.
The whole idea of communism and socialism is that the rich don't have that money,
Yeah.
right? That's their ideology. He has that money.
So he's
but he is the perfect communist. You want to know why? Because he's the leader, quote unquote, right? So he can do it. It's rules for thee, not for me.
Yeah. So one of my there's a text shoot with some coworkers, and the guy said it perfect. As soon as Bernie became a millionaire, he stopped saying millionaires. He says billionaires and oligarchs.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say millionaires anymore.
No.
Because he's one.
Because he's the one. Yeah, exactly.
But my whole point is the conversation. Like, it was 3 hours, and I've seen nothing. Like, obviously, it's my algorithm of videos, but I've seen nothing but just ripping Bernie apart. It's like, you had no arguments, and then when Joe pushed back at all on any of that, like, hey, what are your thoughts? And Joe gave fucking softball hits. It was fucking T-ball. Like, easy fucking conversation to respond to. Simple questions, nice questions. He didn't catch him off guard. He wasn't like gotcha moments. It was like, because Bernie at one point was talking about like global warming, and Joe's like, well, if you look at the one chart from this scientific group over the last like 5,000 years, we're actually at a cooling phase, and he had no response to it. He just like brushed it off like nothing happened. It's
Yeah,
like,
because they've got no
but
argument.
yeah, and it's like no, we're going to transfer everything to renewable energies, and we can make a bunch of jobs. It's going to be great. It's like this is a talking point. There's no substance behind the words you're saying.
Bro.
There's nothing. If any politician says we're going to create jobs, I don't believe them at all. It doesn't. They have I've never seen anything a politician say when they're going to create jobs, and it actually ever did.
What's the definition of renewable energy?
I don't know. But also, my understanding is that petroleum isn't a fossil fuel. That isn't actually from dinosaur decay. And it's a renewable source. The fossil fuel wells,
That's where I was going. That's why I wanted to make sure.
That's my understanding,
No.
is that they pretend that
Yeah, hold on.
they try to promote fossil fuels is fossil fuels and not petroleum, that it's based off dinosaurs, to say that it's a finite amount, but it's not.
It's not a finite amount, right?
Well, let me rephrase that.
We were supposed to run out of it
There's a finite amount of water on this planet.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of it.
Exactly.
It's a well, though. It keeps it. There's a table. Listen, it's not like there's unlimited amounts and we could just burn it.
The
fucking
idea.
nonstop,
Now, look,
but
I'm not a fucking engineer or anything or scientist or anything. But
we can tell.
The other, but the idea is that coal,
Yeah.
which is your petroleum, right?
No. Coal is different.
No,
Coal is mined out of the ground.
Out of the ground.
Petroleum is the oil that they get from wells.
From the wells. But now, which one of them are they say comes from the fossil fuels?
Petroleum.
Okay, petroleum. Great. So petroleum, what we use, right, that makes oil, okay, is they're saying that's the dirty one. That's causing the pollution. But now he's saying about the incentive of renewable energy. But renewable energy, let me pull this up again. I don't know why I closed it. Is literally what petroleum is, and this is why it makes me, and that's why he had no fucking
But
my point is that's why he has no argument, because he knows he's a liar. So renewable energy refers to energy derived from natural sources that are replenished at a higher rate than they are consumed. Okay, natural sources.
Yeah.
So if we're getting petroleum from the ground already, but they're saying that is the dirty shit, but he's saying we're gonna use renewable. So then just use what we're fucking using right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, go and listen to the conversation, because I think Joe does a good job at. He's like, listen, like, okay, we're at a global cooling, actually, according to the data, not the last 100 years, over the last thousands of years. So you can't just like not the word, cherry pick. You can't just cherry pick the last 100 years, or the last 200 years. You can't do that. This planet is millions of years old. You have to look over all the fucking data. And granted, and Joe literally said, he goes, that doesn't mean that we should just ignore pollution. Pollution's the issue, not carbon. Carbon's not the issue at all. And it drives me, I've said this before, the carbon being the fucking thing that people worry about, is nonsense. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's a cop-out because the industry, the industrial industries, the big fucking mega corporations that run everything know that they can counteract all their bullshit pollution with this carbon bullshit. But it doesn't solve pollution. Carbon tax and carbon focus does not solve pollution at all. It does not.
Dude,
it doesn't.
Dude, if you really want to get to the pollution, because it's always America that's under the spotlight, and that's by design.
Yeah. That's another point, too, that you brought up.
Well, what
do you do with China?
China has
India.
more. India, with their air pollution is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Their water pollution is ridiculous. We actually cleaned our shit up.
Yeah.
They didn't. But we're the ones that see. That's why it's all bullshit. I
Yeah.
know it. I'm not asking like, oh, are they stupid? I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
First of all, it's basically, hey, I'm going to invest in like green, but then I'm going to have all my money in green, and I'm going to invest into green companies. So when green goes up, I make money. That's how these politicians do it. This is why I know what they're doing, and they want to make all these taxes so they make money. They're not fooling any of us. We all know this. This isn't just us that know. We all know this, except for the people who actually think that we're killing the earth. But, yeah, man, it doesn't really. Like, I get it. Like, I all this shit. Like, for years I've stopped saying like I actually laugh. It's gonna sound condescending. How stupid are they? Are they this stupid? It's like, no, they're not, dude. This is calculated. It's the people who buy into it that are silly. I'm not going to use the word stupid. I'm going to use silly. I'm going to be nice. It's silly. Like, dude, this is how we're going to fix it, by taxing you. No, we already know that the majority of tax money is going to politicians. So politicians are making money off of it. Guys, they don't fucking care. If they cared about pollution, they wouldn't fly private jets that pollute. To the climate summit in Paris, saying that we need to get rid of pollution.
I mean, they called everyone out because they were cutting down trees in, where was it? Fuck, the big-ass forest.
Amazon.
They were cutting down a bunch of trees in the Amazon, for them to pave a road for the summit.
Yeah. I saw that recently.
It's like, what?
Clearly, I don't care. If you have a private jet, I'm not the one. I don't give a shit. If you have a private jet, awesome. Who gives a fuck? But I'm also not the one saying end pollution, but I'm going to support the politicians that fly their private jets to the summit. That makes no sense. Because that's the most pollution.
Hilarious too is that they have all this stuff that they talk about, but obviously chemtrails are a fact, but people still don't believe it.
Oh, chemtrails definitely are.
They're a fact.
So there's two things. Because they're the most. The argument is those are comp trails. There's different there's other comp trails.
Not comp.
Contrails. Contrails are the ones. Condensation makes sense. Those are the ones you could tell the difference between chemtrails and contrails. No, the ones the contrails you could see.
I'm not saying no that. I'm saying no.
Yeah.
Everyone says it's a contrail. No, they're chemtrails. If they last for more than any amount of time, pick a time. If they just stay there, they're a chemtrail.
Yep.
It's a fact. They do this in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
you can watch videos on it.
Cloud seeding.
Apparently, China has like 4 major universities that they teach this stuff. This isn't fucking conspiracy theory, even though they try to pretend like it is. There's a huge fucking difference, and you can look up and see the difference. It's obvious, and there's some days they don't fucking spray. But my whole point is, they get upset with flying, and then they fucking spray shit in the air.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They get upset with flying.
They think they know what they're doing.
No. Well, they know what they're doing to push their agenda is what I'm saying. They don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing just to push their agenda. They say they question all of the fucking pollution to show face. That's what they're doing. Wild, bro. It's wild. Do you think... Here's a question. It's a loaded question. Because there's so many good answers. You could say so many good things that we have, people, when they hear the question, they'll be like, oh, my God, compared to how we used to live 1,000 years ago? Of course. But here's the question. Do you think we're better off now? Or you think we're going in the right direction? Because we're definitely better off. But do you think we're going in the right direction? I don't think we're going in the right direction. I think we're somehow getting to a point where we have the potential with all of our technological advances to really go in the right direction, but because we have a scumbag globalist society that is hell-bent on having power, I think they're purposely destroying it. I don't think we're in the right direction. And I'm talking about like the future. Do you think we're going? I don't think we are.
I think it's the direction hasn't changed over the last hundreds of years. I think it's always been the same.
Do you think we are
I don't think it's the ideal direction.
Do you think if there wasn't a evil force dividing us, that we would be so much more advanced, and in not only a technology but spiritually?
That's a tough question. My initial response, I want to say, is yes. But the problem is that the human condition is still the human condition. There's, like I said 20 minutes ago, whatever it was, there's shitty people out there. There's evil in the world. So when we get rid of these fucking oligarchs and all this fucking bullshit, pick a name, the secret government, the whatever, there's still shitty people, you know? We would have to eliminate evil. But that's just the human condition.
But would
I don't know what would replace that if we got rid of these, you know.
Well, maybe not replace, but what if the minority, and I don't mean minority within like color, that's what everyone thinks, like Hispanic or black. I think the minority of people that are controlling, like in these secret societies, that have the loudest voice because they have the most money. What if they weren't there? So the human condition, sure, there would be evil still, but it would be easier to maintain because there wouldn't be this whole divide.
Yeah.
What if that were the case?
I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I
I'm
think
at loss for words now.
I think we would have. I think without the control and the deceit, we would 100% be more spiritually and technologically advanced. Great point that you brought up, that there's always going to be a yin and a yang.
Yeah.
Cool. No worries.
So I think that the root to the question that you're asking is that if we could eliminate the deception, which really is propaganda, hiding information, not letting people with different points of views get talked, like we were talking about the chemtrails, right? That is just shoved under the rug and pretend like it doesn't exist. Like stuff like that is actually not hidden.
Yeah.
Where like conspiracy theories are no longer really a thing that is just fringe. Like those things are public knowledge, and the actual conspiracy theories are fringe stuff, true fringe, and not this fake shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we would be more advanced. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. You bring up a good point with the human condition. How long? Because let's just say we even go my route, and you're able to eliminate the secret societies, and you're able to contain that evil. But for how long? Because at what point would someone get hungry for power again and start to restart it? So that's the funny thing. You ever play Assassin's Creed?
No, never did.
Okay. Long story.
I've seen the movie.
Ah, God. You know what? I can't. I'm not even gonna give this example because it's gonna be a long-winded example. But let's just say you have 10 evil people. Okay, giving a weird example, that control 1,000. Okay, but underneath those 10 are another 10. Okay, so it's really 20, but 10 make the rules. Okay, so then you have 20 and 980 people. Okay. Those people are controlled. At some point, the 980 people revolt and kill those 10, and they throw them off. But what about those other 10 that weren't in the spotlight?
Yeah.
They start to hide for a little bit.
Yeah, and they come back out.
But they'll come back up. They'll seep right into that other 980, make 990. But they'll find a way to, you know what I mean? Like, is it a never-ending good versus evil?
It is. It's always never-ending. But that's why the Constitution, everything in this country was written the way it was. It's designed to help the best way possible to allow the citizens to be able to say, hey, you guys are being fuckwits. We don't like that. Stop being fucking assholes. Or else.
Yeah. It's fucking wild. It was crazy. Bro. Wild.
Yeah.
That was a good conversation. I didn't even know where it was going to go today.
Nah, who knows? We never know with these.
Fuck, dude. I still can't believe I saw a Honda Element.
Yeah. Self-driving.
Drives right.
I got to text my buddy after this.
I'm telling you. Tell him it was around 12:30. Someone had to, dude, when this thing was trying to make a right onto Route 10 with the oncoming traffic, there had to have been someone else being like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah.
See, the thing is, my sister was like, yo, you should have called the cops. And I'm like, yes, but not 911, but like
Call dispatch. Yeah.
Dispatch. Be like, hey, there's a mop driving a Honda.
Yeah.
Do you guys know about this? Like, what the fuck? I mean, I should have done that. But I just didn't think so. I was like, it's not hurting anybody, but maybe I should have. I could have definitely hurt somebody. How the fuck was it driving?
I don't know. It's driving me nuts. I'm just so pissed there's no picture.
Yeah, I should have taken a picture.
Yeah.
We were.
I understand why you didn't. You guys were fucking amazed.
And everything
in awe.
happened so fast.
Yeah.
Because, like, the light turned. We got in front of it. It was weird because the light, like, turned green. But that's not that's not a fucking long light, the one across the highway. So we, like, got in front of it, and then it turned red. And then when we looked in the fucking back, it just got through the fucking parking. Dude, I'm laughing at that because it's like, how did it know to cut through the parking lot? Oh my god! See, this is another thing with AI, dude.
That's why I don't think it was actually self-driving. I think someone
remote control for sure.
No, I think someone was in the car fucking with people.
But there was no arms, dude. I saw it. There was no. I saw it.
Can you look down?
Yes, it had its window all the way down.
No, can you look down into it?
What do you mean?
Like, if I'm in my car and I pull up in my truck, I can see in the window, but I can only see the head. Where if I'm in my truck looking at my car, I can look down.
You don't understand. There was no head.
But my point is, if the person was pretending to be the seat and laid back and had their hands down low, like where can you see my hands right now?
No, I see what you mean.
But so they could be.
But here's the thing: we were high up in a Jeep. We were level with it. I would have been able to see the hands on the wheel, and it wasn't there.
That was my question.
Yeah. I would have been able to see.
What did you see?
A fucking stick with a black cloth over it.
Then what's touching the steering wheel?
Nothing. Unless I missed hands coming from, but it would have to have been hands down by his or her side, literally grabbing the very thing of the wheel. I didn't see any of that.
I don't know.
I sort of wished I saw it again. I was hoping I'd see it again.
I
took that way to get here. I took 280 to 80. And I was like, I want to see this fucking car again. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Good question. Wow. Good question. Good conversation we had. You have anything else?
No, I completely just destroyed the table.
That's amazing. I think we got. I think we can. No. I think we got to fucking end this before this fucking mic just flies.
Dude, I don't know how this happened. I just compressed the table. It's the beer. I got beer muscles.
Bro. Yeah, dude. Folks.
Before I get canceled.
Oh, dude. We haven't been canceled yet. Cancel these nuts. Anyway. You've heard it here. I don't know what you heard.
We need an audience before we get canceled.
Yeah, true. That's true. Folks, let us know what you think in this conversation today. Let us know if you've ever seen a Honda Element driving itself with, I don't know, with a stick and a fucking broom and a cloth in East Hanover. Please tell me. 183. Let us know down in the comments. Agree, disagree, your opinions. Shut the fuck up, but we won't. You know,
I mean,
not you guys.
We still want you to tell us that. But.
Tell us that because that'll put the comments. It'll boost the thing, right? But I mean, I'll just laugh at you. I'll put laughing emojis. Anyway, love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor.
Lead by example.
Lead by example. Episode 183. Oh, another thing too. I'm not going to get into it too much. Always remember, any advice that you give or that you receive, sometimes the person giving the advice doesn't follow that advice.
That's true.
And it's okay.
Most of the time they don't.
Most of the time. No, but it's like, and it's okay if you're the one giving the advice and then you realize, oh shit, I'm not taking my own advice. Snap out of it and start taking your own advice. I had to say that. That was more of a message for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, love you guys. Episode 183. We'll see you next week. We out.
Deuces.